Alright, welcome to step 3. And first thing you'll notice, my screen's changed a bit. I've done some modifications and I'm just going to talk you through those, but I'm not going to show you exactly what to do. I want you guys to do that. So first, I typed it up in Word here. First thing I did, I resized the ship and the engine to match the space. It didn't look right to me. It looked too big, because if I'm going to have some enemies coming down, I wanted to reduce the size of my ship. Secondly, I added script file to the player, which allows the player to move left and right. And then I modified the script to stop the player from moving off the edge of the screen. So let's play that and take a look at it. Play. And so now it hits the edge there, and stops, and so forth. Alright, and then third thing I did was I created two prefabs called a bullet and enemy bullet by creating a primitive object and a material to each to give them color. I added a material. So I created a new material and added it. I'm not going to show you exactly how to do that, so you're going to have to go watch the video if you forgot, because this one's a little bit tougher. Watch the video Lab 2 Step 3, and that is located in my network drive. So obviously if you just go to my website, click on Unit 2, it'll bring you to this folder, and go to Lab. And once you're in the lab, it's the only one that I added the words to it, create primitive. Create primitive shape with new material. So watch that guy, it'll teach you how to do that. Now let's go back to this guy. And then what did I do with that? I gotta click back in the game window in order for it to keep working. Okay, and now I can shoot the bullets, because every time I hit the space bar. And notice that every time I hit the bullets, over here you can see they disappear, they get destroyed. Otherwise it would just keep building them and building them right here. But notice, like, if I hit a bunch, then they disappear, because once they get off the screen, we're using script to destroy those. And so that's the other one you're going to do. Let's go back here, add a script file which destroys the bullets after they leave the screen. And then the last thing I did was I modified the light source. The reason I did so was I didn't like, originally my shadow was cast way up here, up in front of the ship, and I didn't like that for some reason. I don't know why, maybe the bullets, it just seemed like it was in the way. So I wanted the shadow to be behind and a little bit off to the side. So I clicked on the directional light and I modified the directional light to get the shadow look the way that I wanted it. So here's what my finished product looks like. And that's the first thing we're doing is just getting it all set up before we get the enemies. So get that working, and then we can work on enemies. And you guys, if you have time, then you can go ahead and start building enemies, putting them in, using the script to place them, much like we had the animals were placed in here. So if I go back to the scripts, spawn manager, so you're going to have to create a spawn manager and modify that so that the code, so that it builds a bunch of them in a row. Maybe we could do 2 rows, or even if first if you can just get 1 row working, and maybe you build them a little bit away from the edge, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of them, so that they move back and forth to the edge, one side to the other. So first get them built, so they built on the screen, and then you can work on making them move back and forth. Alright, one more thing. I had this prefab folder that was empty, and those are the bullets. That's where I created the bullets, was in the prefab folder. And then I created the materials for those, the red and the yellow material, in the material folder. And then I simply added the material onto the bullets But you're going to have to look at that video if you forgot how to do that. All right, have fun.